So today's riddle is this. What is the Christian's favorite fruit? It's the fruit of the Spirit. That's right. See you next week.
Aren't you excited? Get excited if you're not, because we're going to do the memory verse with our best impersonations, and we're going to start with Pastor Scott. Are you ready? Can you say it like Pastor Scott would? I'm going to say it, but I have to get ready. Okay. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. Did that sound like Pastor Scott? How did it sound for you? All right, let's do it again, but this time, Pastor Danielle, okay? I think Pastor Danielle has a higher voice than me, so let's try. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. Did you do it? Did it sound like Pastor Danielle too? Because I think I nailed it. All right. Well, you guys keep practicing your verse because this is a good one.
Hey Grace Kids, we're in week 3 of
Victory!
And today's big idea is this: God does what no one else can.
That's true. And today our Bible story is in 2 Kings chapter 5.
Ooh, is this the story of the man whose name was Naaman?
Yep, that's the guy.
Naaman. His mom's like, I don't know what to name him.
Yep.
So I'll name him Naaman.
Naaman. Yeah.
Yeah, is that him?
That's him.
All right, well, Pastor Danielle, why don't you get us started?
Yeah, so Naaman is a respected commander of the army, not of Israel, but in a different place.
Yeah. Oh, and he's the guy who had like that disease, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What's that called again?
It's called leprosy.
Oh, yeah, that's not good, right?
No, we don't deal with it very much nowadays,
Yeah.
but back then it was terrible. Like your body would be covered in really gross, oozing, like things, like it was awful.
And the worst part for me, outside of that, would be really bad, but you couldn't be around people, and I love being around people, right?
Yeah, it's true. You had to be completely separated, cut off from everybody because it's highly contagious.
So he went to the king, right? And he's like, hey, I need help, right? And
Well, before he went to the king, actually, something really incredible happened.
oh, that girl!
Yeah, so there was a young Israelite servant.
Yeah.
She heard about all of this,
Yeah.
and she said, hey, Naaman, I know somebody that can help.
Oh. And
Yeah.
so then they go to the king, right?
Yeah, so she says there's a guy, he's a prophet in Israel, his name's Elisha. So then Naaman goes to the king and he says, hey, can I go to Israel? Like, I need help. And so the king,
Writes a letter on his behalf.
yes, he does.
Yes. And they take it to the king,
Yep.
and the king over there looks at it and goes, I can't help you.
No, yeah, the king in Israel,
And he's a little
he
worried.
couldn't heal him.
Yeah.
So he's like, he gets the letter to Elisha.
Yeah.
And Elisha reads the letter, and then what did Elisha do?
Elisha's like, I've got a plan.
Yep.
So he sends a note to Naaman, right?
Yeah.
And he says to Naaman, here's what I need you to do. Okay?
Yeah.
It's unusual.
It's really unusual. Like he said, I want you to go to the Jordan River.
The Michael Jordan River? There was a, back in the,
No, Pastor Scott.
was
the
it
Jordan-
23 miles long?
I don't know how long the Jordan River is, but it's not named after Michael Jordan. This is like way before Michael Jordan.
You sure?
I'm positive.
Okay, so go to the Jordan River, which
Yes.
was gross.
Yeah, and cold. And Elisha said, I want you to dip in the Jordan River, like take a bath 7 times.
Like go under the water 7?
Yeah. You know what? Some of our friends have a hard time, I think, taking 1 bath, but he had to take 7 baths
In
at
dirty
the
water.
same time.
Yep.
In dirty, cold water.
Yep. So did he do it?
No. Well, okay.
He did.
He did. But at first he's like, no way, I'm not doing this. 1, where is Elisha? And 2, no. And so his servants are like, no, Naaman, you gotta do it. Come on, buddy, let's give it a try.
Yeah.
And then he did.
Eventually he did, and after the 7th time he dipped under, came out of the water.
He was healed.
That's right. And he was so excited about it, he's like, I'm gonna pay the man.
Yeah, and Elisha's like, no, you're not gonna pay me. But what was amazing was Naaman recognized that God, the God that Elisha
Yeah.
served, our God, was the one true God.
Yep, and today's big idea is God does what no one else can.
Welcome to Family Connections. Time to grab your family. Let's circle up and ask a couple questions together. Question number 1. Is following God ever hard or confusing? Sometimes it can be, right? And that's okay. Question number 2. What are some things God has done in your life? It doesn't have to be right now. Maybe it was last week or last month or even a couple of years ago. But what has He done in your life? And question number 3. What are some things you want God to do in your family? Ooh, what could that look like? Why don't you take some time to pray about those things together this week too?